Okay, what is a low deck?
Because it's all the way down at the bottom of your torso.
No,
It's pretty low.
That's where my toes are usually.
No, not your feet, your torso. What, you got toes in your fucking
I thought you said
pelvis?
dick.
Yeah, because your dick's at the bottom of your torso and your pelvis.
Oh, I did hear toes.
You know what? I'm not having this conversation.
Okay.
I don't know anything about anatomy either, but I don't know you got toes out of your pussy.
Autumn is the background audio fine in comparison to us?
Autumn's the guy in the chair?
Yeah. Autumn's like the
Yeah.
director right now. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's
Autumn, you're
sexy.
the producer and the
Producer.
manager.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So Autumn, tell me what size is your fingers?
What?
For
Oh wait.
Oh.
Oh, that absolutely that crashes when I go.
unboxing
Oh
screen.
no! Wait. That's okay.
No.
Jesus, like this.
I'm so excited!
Yeah, you also go. I mean, maybe it's not audible. Autumn, does it sound like our mic sounds shit when we go high and like loud?
Me.
Yeah, like does that sound like shit? Oh my god. Is that nope? Okay, then we're good. Then we go.
I'll try and trust you, even though you're a bit of a liar now and then.
What? Or, anyways, look at how amazing our picture looks to the background of this game.
We didn't like it. We didn't realize that it was Yeah,
we like months in advance. We figured out that we were gonna play this game together.
apparently.
We were like,
we said, right, we made this picture ages ago. We're like, oh yeah, let's do a little challenge or whatever. And then just today, I was looking at the screen. I was like, it looks familiar. And then I was like, oh wait, this look is exactly the look that you give me in our lesbian picture.
Yeah, it's like exactly the same.
Girl.
My god.
It's the same way that you were looking at me dead inside, like you want to hurt me a little bit.
Oh.
This is a good time to advertise your, career.
My career, guys, it's been a year and I came back to streaming for probably only this game.
No, because it says you have a Fata Morgana stream tomorrow.
Oh shit! Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to cancel that.
You just stream your Sims now and then.
I just put it on auto mode and like just let the stream run and see what the Sims do.
All they're gonna do is fucking, you know it.
Yeah. Oh my god, letting my OCs run wild while I stream it 24/7.
No. Forever. What if you accidentally become really famous as well? Because the lore.
It would be so funky, actually. It would be really funky.
I'm gonna come and steal Francis away at some point anyway.
No, not Francis.
11.
I'm gonna have to hide us. We're gonna, I'm gonna take you on my lap and we're gonna start this. Okay?
Take me. I love the background music of this game. It's so... Oh.
Yes. Okay.
It's calming, but it's also making me feel uneasy. Oh.
Shit, we're in the way! Hi, Henny! You look cute. I want to sit on the chat box, actually.
Okay. I'm left behind!
Wait, this makes no sense because there's gonna be what if I put myself here?
Oh! I was moved again.
Oh, shit. What was that? Oh, 4.
Move me with that mic.
Put Kid on the moon.
Put Kid on the moon!
Gotcha.
Oh! No, great Neptunus. I'm Princess Luna.
Oh my god. You are. Wait,
I was gonna be kicked out someday. Hey, Kaidi, can you hear me from down there?
I don't think so, no.
Kaidi!
What? I can't hear shit, man. Oh my god.
Oh wait, there's a microphone settings. Sweet. Kaidi! Kaidi!
Actually, you're now the character.
It's Henny!
I know, I just don't know where to put you. Is this too small for you?
I don't know anything about her, Nash.
You're gonna cover
I'm happy to be whatever size you want me to be.
You're gonna cover my tits, but I think that's okay.
Well, it's because I'm just making sure that they're still there.
Oh, good. Good. Who wants to be Henny?
Science. All right, fine. I'm trying to think of something.
Oh my god, yeah, it's
Okay,
the
how do
German
I?
names. Oh, I remember.
How do you pronounce Makey? Make
Micah.
Micah?
It's like Michael, but without an L at the end. It's like Micah.
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 Micah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why was I gonna give this German girl a fucking southern accent?
Faster, Micah.
Turn the
Faster.
audio down a bit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Both of ours. Guessing
Us?
we're. Yeah, don't worry. No, I gotcha. I got us. I got us. Speak.
Hallelujah.
I'm a little bit loud. Okay, we good. Should be a bit better. You want to
Oh
go?
god, I haven't voice acted in so long.
That was too much. Well, fuck me.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Fuck you. I'm giving her a southern accent.
Yeah, go ahead.
Faster, Micah, faster! You have to keep moving or else. Oh god, you're killing us.
Peek.
Fuck off. Oh.
Oh, I'll do the narration.
Okay,
Micah
how's
ran
this?
through the forest as quickly as her legs would carry her, which, given how exhausted she felt, was not very. She tried to be. It's starting already! It's starting!
Oh yeah? Oh yeah. Look, get
Yeah.
into it. Beatboxing.
Oh. She tried to obey Henny's orders, fearful both of letting her friend down and of the shadowy figures who pursued them, but her body refused to listen. Her legs felt numb and insensible, as unfeeling as marble, but far, far weaker. It was through nothing save sheer force of will that she was able to keep going, for all her strength had already abandoned her. Though Micah continued to run, staggering blindly through the fog, she feared it was already a lost cause. She was but a young woman, slender and, while not very short, quite unaccustomed to exerting herself. She was not like Henny, who spent her days on her hands and knees.
Just like me.
Polishing the floors and blacking the fireplaces. Micah's fingers were white as ivory, while Henny's were red raw through demanding often physical labor. Micah's lungs, meanwhile, were straining from the agonizing effort of running. Never before had she known that the act of merely existing could be so exhausting. Girl, you got, like...
Kaide waking up every fucking day.
No, please, waking up is horrible.
I could never know that existing is so exhausting. Micah, please, you need to hurry. Quickly, Micah.
Henny reached back to take hold of Micah's hand, her coarse, short fingernails digging into Micah's palm. Henny was gripping so tightly it hurt, but Micah knew, should she lag behind, she would find herself in far greater pain than this. Micah recalled how her father had looked back in their carriage, his eyes wide and his face unusually pale. Oh my god, did he die? Micah had never seen her father look so scared before. He was a tall, imposing figure of a man, dashing even in his early 50s, who was accustomed to issuing orders, not receiving them. Micah had thought her father immovable, but like the oak tree which shielded her family's mausoleum, a tree which had stood there for longer than the crypt itself, to Micah, her father had seemed like a force of nature, one which was impossible to argue with or get the better of. This superstition had been turned on its head earlier that night, however, in a mere handful of minutes. For all of his bluster... Fuck is bluster? For all of his blusters, Micah's father was only human.
Like things that he's done wrong or something.
Oh, yeah, fair. Micah's... Dilf? Probably. I mean, he did...
I'm barista.
Though, honestly, calling your dad handsome is a little bit weird, not gonna lie. For all of his bluster, Micah's father was only human. He was made of flesh and blood, just like Micah, and when cut, he bled. He had bled a lot, in fact, all over the plush, upholstered seats of their carriage and onto the floor.
I know Kaide enjoyed that line.
His fine clothes had been stained black with the stuff, and the air had stung of it, sharp and metallic. Micah could smell her father's blood on her even now, as she and Henny raced through the forest. She couldn't She couldn't forget it, however much she wished to. Oh, if only the events of that night had been nothing more than a bad dream. Micah wished that the fog could clear and she would wake up, her eyelids fluttering to discovering herself sitting once more in her bed, in her home, the room flooded with pale sunlight.
Micah!
It's like, wow. Amazing voice line.
Really. Thank you, I really.
You did so good. I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
But Micah's surroundings did not shift. The trees only continued to press in about her as though they meant to eat her alive. Their shadowy pursuers were beginning to close in on them. They looked kind of hot. Micah knew she had no hope of outrunning them. She was flagging, her heart hammering in the base of her throat.
It's okay, because soon something's gonna fade into view, like as if in a dream.
Oh my god, and then...
You know what I mean.
No, not the house at Fata Morgana! Not the flashbacks, man!
We're back here now!
Don't bring me back! We're back in the fucking building! Literally. What would happen when Micah was not so optimistic to hope for an if they caught her? What would they do to Henny? The thought was almost more than Micah could bear. It had been bad enough to lose her parents, but to lose Henny too? Why, she had done nothing wrong. Unlike Micah, Henny was no lady. She was just a maid, filthy bitch. She was only being targeted because of her relationship to Micah and her family.
She was just a peasant.
Yeah, she was just a peasant. Had Henny been traveling alone, she would have passed through the forest quite unscathed. It wasn't as though Henny had any valuables upon her person that were worth the effort of pilfering. Ugh. Wait, you also want to do Micah?
No, which one Micah is?
Like the girl, the lesbian.
I don't know if she's the one with the red hair or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. It looks pretty black here, though. I do agree.
That's why I think maybe she's, For now, can you do Micah and I'll do Henny and then we can switch over or something?
Okay, shit. Oh my god. Henny? Micah appealed to her mate between sharp gasps of air, which pierced her lungs as keenly as knitting needles. Please let go. Leave me be. I'm just slowing you down.
I don't care. I'm not leaving you behind.
But... Henny...
There aren't any buts, only asses. I told you, I won't leave you. Now let's keep running.
Micah wanted to run. She really did, but her body had already begun to give in. To the
fucking pussy.
Sexy lesbian.
Oh my god, no, Henny and Micah together.
No, like... I mean... Her heart might have been pumping fit to burst at the base of her throat, but her legs were weak despite the excess blood which filled her, and her hand in Henny's felt cold and clammy. She had exhausted all of her energy simply in escaping from the carriage where her parents' bodies lay. Now she would die, only a few hundred paces away from their final resting place. Would her mutilated carcass be discovered in the days hence and taken back to her family's home? Would she and her parents be embalmed and sealed away with their mausoleum? Girl, like, come on. Just take a graveyard like every other normal person. Micah did not much like this thought. Family's mausoleum was a terrifying place, full of a somber stone angels and spiderwebs. It was quiet, being situated among tall trees, but its quietude was not at all relaxing. Its quiet was the deep, fathomless silence of death. Micah did not want to die. She knew not how she would... Really? She knew not how she would continue to live on, with both her parents slaughtered before her very eyes, but she did not want to succumb as they had in the forest full of fog. She wanted to go on living, for her sake and for Henny's, though not necessarily for Walter's. Who is Walter? I guess we don't like him.
Oh no. God, they're getting closer. We need to keep running. Come on, Micah.
But like the guttering flame of a candle, the last of her energy had been expended. She just collapses. Micah's foot caught in
Bro,
a tangled tree root, which jutted from the ground like a bear trap, and she fell.
oh my god, why is she so useless?
Her hand, which was slick with sweat, slipped free from Henny's. She reached out, searching for a loyal her
Her loyal
loyal
milk.
searching for her loyal mate through the fog, but to little avail.
She's literally on the right of you. You can see her right there.
She is so frail because she needs a big, strong lesbian vampire to save her.
Oh, you're right. But what she is the
Oh, that actually could also
Micah!
be. Henny's voice echoed in Micah's ears, shrill and frantic. Micah's heart shuddered in her chest, hard as though meaning to stop altogether, but it did little good. Her head smacked against the ground with a dull, anticlimactic thud. Micah's teeth bit against her tongue. She tasted copper. Her vision swam.
Micah! Oh god, Micah, get up! Please get up! Oh, she's gone.
And then everything went black, and she did not get up.
Oh, that was a really fun graphic novel.
Thank you guys so much for coming. This was our playthrough of Cage of Roses.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The night that
Act 1, the night that never ended. I can read.
oh yeah.
Hello there.
Oh, she is Micah.
Oh my
she
god.
She is Micah, bro.
She is
Her
Micah.
Her name
just
is
smacked
Micah,
her head
which is
and
so
died.
close, bro.
Wait,
her
sorry.
name is Micah, which is so close to being Micah, which in my language means t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, but like pronouncing it Micah is actually way more accurate, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So just say t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Just say t-shirt.
Oh, t-shirt. Yeah. Nah, it's okay. Well, I guess I'll take over because we realized that she's the girl with the red hair, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to really do her voice though. I have to like settle because it's gonna be for the rest of the series. She's one of the main characters.
But you can take some time to figure it out. That's totally fine. Right.
Okay.
I mean, what I was going for was a little bit of a pathetic, high, soft, but posh voice, you know? You can do posh.
I see.
I know you can do posh.
I'm thinking. I really want to do a transatlantic kind of accent, but I don't know how to do it completely. Okay. What?
Micah was greeted upon waking by a dull, crushing pain that gripped her skull like a vice. A brackish taste akin to pond water filled her mouth, and with one hand clasped to her head, she coughed. Micah's body shuddered and her lungs burned. It took a minute before her coughing fit subsided, but once it did, Micah began to glance uneasily around her surroundings.
Hope that cough was good.
It was very good, yes. She hoped that her immediate surroundings might shed some light upon her predicament, but her hopes were in vain. Micah had no idea where she was. She is so stupid.
She never did geography.
Oh my god. Ooh, soundtrack. Very subtle.
Oh god, that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little t-shirt.
The floor upon which she was sitting, but why was... Oh, the floor upon which she was sitting, but why was she sitting on the floor of all things, was made of stone, which felt hard and cold and uncompromising. The walls, too, were made of stone, as was the ceiling, which felt very far away. A wooden cot was pushed up close against the wall, but it was so steeped in shadow Micah could scarcely make it out.
Why didn't they put her in there at least?
Isn't like a cot? Oh no, that's the... What's a cot? I thought it was the chamber pot, but... What's a cot?
So the cot, a cot in this sense is like a little kind of flat surface to sleep on. It's kind of a bed, but it's really pathetic, so I don't want to call it that.
Oh, okay, I get it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chamber pot lying by the cot, which she did not care to examine too closely. But its rim and sides were stained with caked-on filth. Ew!
Oh, fucking hell. Autumn, why did you leave your diarrhea all over the fucking...
Oh my god, Autumn, next time you shout, don't do it in the only fucking chamber pot we have, okay? At
Now
least,
what is T-shirt gonna fucking do?
yeah, at least do it outside of the gates, okay? You can like put your ass out down there, out there. Ain't my fault. That's what they all say. A truly unpleasant odor exuded from the chamber pod, which made Micah's eyes sting. It was fortunate that she had no immediate desire to relieve herself, for she had no wish to use this commode. A quick examination of the room, though really it was more like a cell, showed Micah that save for the cot and the chamber pot, it was utterly desolate. Yes, the fat to through the walls. Yeah, kinda. There was no other furniture to be seen, no shelves, no cupboard, nor even a proper bed. There was no mirror either, so Micah couldn't see herself, but perhaps this was a blessing in disguise. Micah doubted she would be at her best given she was in so much pain, and she was so very exhausted. She was so cold she could feel goosebumps rippling across her flesh, and her teeth were chattering badly. Micah wound her arms around her middle and her tits and shivered sadly. Her boobs bounced sadly as well.
Oh my god, I knew it.
It was not only the chamber pot that stung. The air itself was rank, heavy with the stench of unwashed bodies and general decay. This room, no, she was sure that this was a cell, reeked of death.
Oh god, poor girl, man.
How had she come to such a place? What had happened to her? I mean, you hit your head. I think the
At
rest
least
is
you're
pretty,
alive.
right? Like, they dragged you here, probably. Micah could
What
remember...
happened to Henny?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Micah could remember sitting alongside her mother and her father in their carriage as it bore them through the forest, and then... There, at this most pivotal of moments, her memories failed her. Micah could recall nothing else.
No,
Oh.
she got amnesia.
She got amnesia. Amnesic.
Like an hour worth of amnesia, but still.
Yeah. Had her parents been there, they would have given her instructions. They always seemed to know what Micah ought to be doing at any given time, but they were not there, and neither was Henny. Micah was alone. Henny had been with her, Micah was certain, before... Before what?
Her face changed.
Why could she not remember anything? Oh, Micah thought sorrowfully, if only she was made of stone, then perhaps her head would not hurt so much. But also perhaps she would not be able to think, and that would maybe also
I like her
be
little
pretty
thoughts.
good. Right?
Her little process of like, it really stinks here. I wish I was made of stone.
Yeah. It really stings. Can I, like, not?
She's cute.
It really did feel that her skull might explode. Not from the pain, though the pain still remained, but from raw, unbridled fear. Micah had often dreamed of stealing away from her parents' home to embark upon a brand new life, unfettered by expectations, but she had never wished for this. Tears began to trickle down Micah's cheeks in crystalline droplets. They scored tracks in the dirt which caked her cheeks and dropped one by one to the floor. Her head bowed, fingers played against the stone. Micah sobbed, and she sobbed, until...
Oh.
Well, why do we not know who that is? Also, what's that? She got a
I thought that was
concussion?
Henny.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably Henny still, but why... Does she have a concussion?
Oh, I guess she does. Can you do, should I still do Henny or?
I can also do Henny, yeah. I feel like Henny is gonna be one of those ambiguous characters we're just gonna switch around depending on how it's convenient.
Okay. Just an NPC, got you.
Yeah. How did you voice her?
I gave her a little southern drawl.
Okay. What? What's going on?
Yeah!
A soft voice spoke from amongst the teeming shadows. Micah could not see the speaker. She could scarcely see at all, given the darkness and now her own tears, but she recognized its familiar cadence. The voice belonged to Henny. Micah's dear friend was here too, in this stone cell which smelt of death, and though Micah feared for Henny, she couldn't feel relief bubbling up inside of her. She was not alone after all. Micah crawled forth on her hands and knees, being too exhausted to stand, but just sleep, and stared into the shadows.
Take a nap. Honey, is that you?
Micah?
It's T-shirt.
A shaft. Holy shit.
Oh! Oh no, there's no men in here.
Man! A shaft of moonlight
Already
spilled
getting
through the
jealous.
singular barred window. Hewn. I don't know that word. That's a funny word. Hewn high into the wall of their cell, and finally, Micah was afforded a view of her maid. Though Christ and... Oh my god, wait, she was Christ and Henrika. Which, in proper German, would be Henrike. This is gonna fuck me over. Though christened Henrike, Micah had always called her beloved maid Henny. It seemed more appropriate name for such a cheery woman. For Henny came rain or shine, was rarely seen without a smile. I see her without one right now, but okay.
It's really funny, sorry.
Thank you, Micah, for also noticing that. Henny was not smiling now, however. It's...
Sorry.
She was sitting upon the cot which Micah had first spied, her head bent. And his face looked woefully weary, and it had lost much of its usual pinkness. Her apron, once white, now stained and sullied with dirt. And his shoes had been black and sensible, but now they were mired in filth, and her socks were rucked up around her ankles.
At least she still has them on.
Yeah, if we want to have Autumnberry in the stream sometime, Autumnberry can take over Henny.
That's true.
If Autumnberry would like that, Autumnberry can do that. Henny's hands, which she held at her front, were trembling like those of a woman thrice her age.
How old is she?
I was about to say too, like, she looks like mid-20s probably. She looked an awful sight, but Micah knew she could hardly have been any better herself. Henny's hair might have been a mess, but at least she kept it short. There was not very much of Henny's dark tresses to be worked into a state of disorder. Micah's own hair, meanwhile, was very long and curly, and though she had worn it in a... whatever that is, she could not... Chignon? Okay. She could now feel it straggling loosely about her shoulders. Oh no, loose hair.
Oh, I like it when that happens.
Yeah. The back of her neck prickled, either from the cold or from the dislodged hairpin or two. You got a hairpin?
Or because there's vampire's teeth in it.
Oh! The white-haired girl's just hanging onto her neck. It's just hanging there.
My hello, girlfriend.
Perhaps that was why Henny stared at Micah so, once she had regained her own sense of equilibrium, as though she had seen a ghost.
Or she's also got fucking amnesia.
Probably. My god, Micah! And he looked so alarmed, Micah felt almost ashamed. Micah was no stranger to shame. She felt it frequently, in fact, when she was with her mother. Oh, great. But it rarely raised its ugly head in Henny's presence.
If she's got mommy issues, then this relationship is gonna be crazy.
Right? Oh my god. Since Micah's girlhood, Henny had been her own staunch, steadfast companion. She was the only person Micah? Micah.
Oh my god!
New name unlocked. Micah knew who took Micah... She was the only person Micah knew, comma, who took Micah for who she was, comma, rather than wishing, often loud to her face, that she could be more appreciative. More amendable, more effusive, more like a lady and less like herself. Henny didn't want...
know about 6 words out of that sentence.
Yeah, same. Henny didn't want Micah to be more. She wanted Micah to be Micah. Did that mean, then, that Micah did not look like Micah in that moment? But who else did she resemble if not herself?
Maybe Micah could stop using the word Micah in every fucking sentence.
Right? She's gonna start referring to herself in third person. The concussion was too hard.
Oh no.
Are you alright, Micah? Oh, look at your poor face.
Poor? I mean, oh yeah.
Poor me? Oh, wait, I am in a cell.
Oh no.
Henny rose from the wooden cot, which creaked and crouched before her friend. Reaching out, still shaking, she kept Micah's cheeks in her fingers and said, "You're bleeding."
I am?
Yes, you've a nasty cut. You've a nasty cut beneath your right eye and your cheek.
It's you the one who's nasty. What do you... Oh.
Oh my god, wait, she got one too, actually. And he sucked in a breath, her expression grim. It's all banged up. You're positively black and blue.
I like that. Okay, how did you fucking transatlantic? Jesus Christ.
It's okay, you can do it. I believe in you.
Hadn't realized. I'm sorry, Henny.
What? Henny, who had procured a handkerchief from her skirt pocket, if it fortunately wasn't dirty, paused on her, dabbing at Micah's face to look at her with wild bemusement. Why are you apologizing to me, you daft goose? You've done nothing to feel sorry for.
She's Irish now. I don't know. I'm just... sorry for making you worry, I suppose.
Oh, think not of it. Not. Okay, very funny.
I don't know what "no" would means either.
Oh, think not of it. It's my job to worry about you. I'm your maid, remember?
Well, of course I remember that much. My thoughts might be in a state of disarray for the present, but I would never forget you. You are much more than my maid, Henny. You're my friend, too. My dearest friend.
Oh, dearest Mel, no! No! And I could very well say the same about you. That's why it hurts seeing you in such a frightful state.
Do I look so very bad?
Well, now...
You look ugly as shit, bro.
And he scanned Micah's face, her brown eyes now bright with mischief. That depends on how honest you want me to be.
Oh my god, she's giving Maria.
Right? I was about to say she's giving Maria.
She's gonna start sucking her fingers like the fucking...
Oh, she might. You never know.
I still couldn't believe they did that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh. Oh dear. Do I look as bad as all that? Just tell me I look pretty, please.
Well, you've certainly looked better. Your face is banged up as a windfall pie. What? Your face is as banged up as a windfall apple? Whoa.
I wish I knew what that was.
It's like when an apple falls down on the ground and it gets like one of those like splotches on the side where it's still good but it looks bruised.
Oh. I've thrown away so many apples because I don't want to eat that.
Yeah, and now she just called Micah's face that.
Nah. An apple?
Micah shook her head in wonderment.
I only hope the apple isn't riddled with worms.
No, but it is with splotches. I don't think you've anything to worry about on that score, at least.
Why do you care about your appearance right now? Well, that is a relief. I suppose things could always be worse.
Right, you are. That's the spirit. You're still alive, and so am I, and we're together. That ought to count for something. Although... And he finished wiping the worst of the congealed blood and muck from Micah's cheek, then drew back her soiled handkerchief. Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it does say kerchief. I can't pronounce that.
Oh, she's a gremlin.
Gripped tight on her hand. Her expression newly dour, she said after a moment's pause. I am, afraid that your parents mightn't have been so fortunate.
Teaching us new words.
Yeah.
What?
Micah's heart leapt in her chest at the somber announcement.
What happened to them, Henny? Do you know what's going on?
You don't.
I recall that we were traveling to Augsburg.
Oh my god, it literally is German. Augsburg is a city in Germany.
We were gonna go to kindergarten
Oh,
to visit my fiancé, but as far as how we came here,
I thought she has a fiance. Shit.
bet it's a man.
Probably.
Oh.
Micah closed her eyes in the hope of remembering something, but again, nothing came. Not even I, which was crazy. The mind
Oh.
remained stubbornly blank, as featureless as a snowy field, a flora blanketed untrammeled whiteness.
Do I know nothing from the English language?
Right? It does feel like it.
What? I'm afraid I cannot remember.
Not a single thing.
Well, certainly not geography. Nothing.
I see. Annie grit her teeth together for a moment. For a few moments, her eyes dark. She seemed to be weighing up her words, as a baker might measure out flour and sugar before speaking. That's not such a surprise, I suppose. You hit your head pretty hard back there. It might be one of that. I'm sorry. It might be for the best that you can't remember all of the gory details. I wish I could forget what happened myself, but Henny's voice trailed away as, awkwardly, she gripped her kerchief. Kerchief? Kerchief. A kerchief had been the only clean thing in Micah and Henny's cell, but now it too was ruined, streaked with brown and red. How deep was the cut that Micah had sustained, and how much had she bled? This, too, remained a mystery.
As long as you're not on your period.
Right? Oh my god, imagine being in prison in like the medieval times and you're on your fucking period.
At least there's a vampire girl around.
Yes, true. Micah did not know. There seemed much, all of a sudden, she was ignorant of. She felt so very unworldly, she might as well have been a little girl again, enthused after she had successfully stolen the key to her family's mausoleum.
So what's a mausoleum?
I think it's like a burial ground for fancy people, and they usually only use it for like their family.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's just like a rich person kind of thing for burying people, like a graveyard essentially, but like
Why did she spend
private.
so much time there then?
Yeah, that's a bit weird that she spent so much time there. Micah had not known, as she stood in the chill entrance of the mausoleum, that she was about to lower herself into a subterranean world of death and decay, though part of her had wondered.
Henny.
Micah took Henny's hand in her own, her cracked fingernails digging into her skin.
What happened? Tell me, please, I want to know.
Yes, I thought you might. That does make things mite complicated, though. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Just, promise you won't take against me for what I'm about to tell you. I've gone through it a lot tonight already, and that would be the last straw to break the camel's back.
Henny, please, you should know that is a trivial concern. I'm fully aware that none of this is your fault. You have only ever sought to protect me. I have no better friend than you, not in all the world.
Aww. And it's precisely because I want to protect you that I don't want to go into all of this. I know it'll upset you. Christ.
I think she deserves to know that her parents are dead.
Right. It upsets me too. It's an upsetting situation all around. It's rotten, really, what people are capable of, but... Annie paused. She sucked in a breath, then, in a calmer tone, she said, "Just how much do you want to know?"
How much is there to know?
Oh, I remember everything. I always remember tonight, I expect. It made quite the impression. Horrible things always do.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Oh, dear! Are things truly that dire?
Just tell her already. They're pretty bad, yes.
Stop edging me, Henny!
Right?
Give me an abridged account, then. I've no need to hear everything.
Right you are. Annie bowed her head in... I'm overwhelmed by that word. Her face half...
Acquiescence?
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 Acquiescence? Something like that.
In shame, I don't know.
Yeah. Her her face half swallowed by the shadows. The beam of light which had penetrated the drab cell had long since been extinguished. The moon obscured beneath the rolling fog.
I can still see it.
Yeah, I can also... Like, fuck you, they're so white.
Right.
It was so cold in their cell, Micah could not seize her shivers. Even her teeth felt cold, like shards of ice implanted into her gum. Annie's proximity served as something of a comfort, but it could not rid Micah of her trepidations. Just cuddle. Mia, it's fine.
Aww.
Aren't you like best friends? Come on.
Yeah, just like us.
Yeah.
Making out at the start of the stream. It was fine.
Yeah. Got Kate on my lap and face and titties. That's how
Constantly.
how it's supposed to be.
You don't even know what's gonna happen after stream.
Yeah. You wish you knew though, don't know.
Oh my god.
She knew once Henny relayed the past events to her, her life would no longer be the same. Bom, bom, bom. Everything would change. It was changing already, in fact, so quickly that Micah hardly had a chance to gather her bearings. Felt lost, adrift, and hopelessly afraid. I am so sorry to tell you this, Micah, but during our travels, the carriage, it was attacked by bandits.
What? No!
Yes, they came creeping out from the fog like, I don't know, monsters from a children's story, maybe, but much scarier. They waylaid the carriage, then stormed it. They drew out their daggers and threatened your father, and when he refused to comply, well... Annie's expression twisted. They stabbed him.
Oh, I said it. I didn't think it came through. Okay.
Oh, no, it didn't come through. I'm sorry. Micah stared. She had expected as much before Annie began her gruesome tale, but the news still shook her. Evidently, she had not been half so prepared to hear the worst as she had imagined.
Oh, why did you have to say it like that? Oh, God, not my papa.
No, Papa.
Papa. There you go.
You're Papa.
I've never said papa in my life.
I mean,
I only know
maybe
about Papa Smurf.
could also be the German version, because in German we say Papa.
Oh, papa. Okay.
Yeah.
My poor papa. I'm so sad and I don't care at all, actually. Oh, don't tell me he didn't.
I'm so sorry, but... Annie sniffed.
Aw.
It's as you're probably suspecting. His wound was a deep one, and he died.
Dead? My papa dead?
Dead as a doornail, I'm afraid.
Oh my god. Scrooge reference.
Oh my god. I didn't hang around to see what happened, but... Well... It was all over so quickly, I don't think he suffered, at least.
And my mama? What of her? Don't tell me she also...
Annie didn't reply, but the discomfort which crossed her face left Micah with no doubts as to her mother's fate. In one brief night, both of Micah's parents had been slaughtered.
Jesus.
Now she was an orphan. And also a filthy commoner. Oh my god.
And what of us, Henny? How did we escape? I find it hard to believe the bandits would just let us go.
Oh, I'm sure we would have joined your parents if we'd sat still, like good little girls, but I didn't want to do that. I took your hand.
Henny.
Yeah. I took your hand while they were busy with your mother and we ran away. That sounds horrible. We fled through the woods, but the bandits took chase pretty darn quick. She is Maria, oh my god.
Right.
It was very dark and the fog was thick. I could hardly see what was happening. At one point you tripped and fell. That's how you got that nasty cut on your poor forehead. and I was dragged down with you. We lay there on the
fucking...
ground. What?
She dragged her down with her, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like she pulled on her or something.
Oh my god.
We lay there. We lay there on the ground in the dirt while the bandits trampled around looking for us. I figured we were both a couple of goners. I'd started to say my prayers to the Lord Almighty, but then...
We survived.
Yes, survived. This, Micah supposed, was not a surprise. It went without saying, really, that they had survived. Otherwise, they would not have been sitting in this ghastly cell speaking to one another. Unless this is a
gosh,
whole
she's smart.
Fata Morgana situation where everyone's kind of like dead and in a limbo state, and in kind of like not real, but also not fake.
No spoilers, guys, or anything like that, but...
Could be. We never know. We never know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We actually don't know. Either the bandits had spared them, which seemed unlikely, or somebody had come to their defense. Who would have been wandering the woods so very late at night, however? A lesbian! Micah could hardly credit it. Their escape must have been the stuff of fantasies were made of.
I bet. Do you know how we escaped, Henny?
I know what my eyes saw, but if my eyes can be trusted or not, well... That's another matter altogether. I think I might have bumped my head myself. It was also peculiar. At the time, it seemed like a miracle, but looking back on it, that ain't the right word. Miracles suggest God and all his angels, but there was not holy about this. It was a right proper mess, really a total bloodbath.
Blood?
Yes, there was blood, and lots of it. It's hard for me to explain, but all I know is one moment we were sprawled upon the dirt, you unconscious, I half out of my mind with fright as the bandits approached, and the next they were gone.
Gone? But where and how? Did they run away?
Not necessarily, not of their own free will. The fog parted, you see, and then this figure, this really hot woman, she appeared so quick. It was like she'd sprung up from the earth. She wasn't very tall, I don't think she was at least, and she was very skinny, but the way she looked, the way she moved, man, those hips do not lie.
She was like Shakira.
She danced the bandits away. There was something unnatural about her. Didn't get a very good look at what happened next, but I saw her go after those bandits. I think there were at least 4 of them, but that woman soon took care of them. There was so much blood and a lot of mud. Stung to high heaven, it did. Brought tears to my eyes. That woman, though, the woman in white, she didn't seem fussed at all. She stood there once she had finished, beneath the moon, like nothing had happened, and then... He pressed her fingers to her brow and overwhelmed shook her head. I don't remember anything after that. I must have fainted. When I finally woke up, I found myself here. It was your crying that woke me up, bitch.
Oh my god, why are you so rude?
Right. I've never been able to rest easy while you're in tears, Micah.
Because you're so fucking loud. Why does she look so smug about it as well?
She's like, I know I'm keeping you up at night. Oh my god.
I know. You've always been so good and so kind. Thank you, Henny.
Micah chanced to smile, though the muscles about her mouth felt atrophied, worn away following the news of her parents' demise. The only way I know what atrophied means is because I study anatomy in school. Like, why? How do you?
What's atrophy?
It's oh god, it's a phenomenon when you don't use your muscles, so they lose strength, essentially. That's like.
Oh my god, that so makes sense.
Yeah, that's like essentially like having your muscles be worn out and degenerate. That's An atrophy.
Autumn, that's what happened to your other eyebrow.
What?
Oh, that's a long story.
Wild. Okay.
I've no idea what I would do without you. It seems like you saved me.
Sorry, I was drinking.
It's okay, I'm eating
But,
something at the same time.
From the bandits, I suppose I did. But I wasn't much of use when you took that nasty spill. There's no way I would have been able to carry you to safety, not when we were all turned about in the woods and I had no idea where we were. She also is bad at geography. I think I scraped my own chin too, my ankles ache. We'd been goners if that woman hadn't appeared. But now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't sound real. I can't think of any woman who would be able to beat 40 men in a test of strength. Not even worth their own Mademoiselle Blanchard. Whatever that is.
That was a really sexy way of saying that.
Thank you. I know a little bit of French. Yeah. Micah's smile widened at this, despite the severity of the situation, and she was even able to manage a laugh. Oh my god, she's smiling!
Aww.
It was a weak laugh, which contained little of the way of mirth, but it was sincere. Henny never failed to cheer her up. Must have had a knack for it.
Praying that Henny doesn't die.
Yes! Oh my god, please. Micah was too old to believe in magic, but when she was with Henny, she sometimes wondered.
Are you sure it was a woman who fended off those bandits?
And where can I get her number?
Perhaps it was some sort of animal. Instead, and oh fuck, I read that wrong. Trying to do my transit landing is not working out for me, by the way. My chair. Perhaps it was some sort of animal instead, and you failed to perceive it in the fog.
That could be. Like I said, my mind's a mess. I feel like I've lost a good 10 years off of my life. Although, Here Henny smiled grimly in the manner of all survivors after witnessing something horrid. That's better than having it cut short altogether.
That's not dark.
Right?
We must be thankful for small mercies, yes, even if our lives were saved at my parents' expense.
Micah squeezed her eyes shut. She could feel tears beating upon her lashes anew, but this time she was able to subdue them, push them into submission.
Get back in there, tear.
The news of her parents' death was a heavy burden to bear, but Micah, not having witnessed their final moments, found it hard to imagine. It still did not seem quite real. The shock of it all, perhaps, had blundered her senses. It would take a while for her parents' passing to truly register. When it did, however, Micah did not doubt that tears would come, thicker and faster than before, just like my peanuts. It had not always been so, but her childhood misadventures in her family's crypt had left her something of a crybaby.
Now then.
Micah inhaled, then glanced around.
Where do you suppose we are? And how do you suppose we got here?
That's a good question. I've been wondering that myself.
You fucking sleepwalking bitch.
It's not the nicest of dicks, is it? Look how casual she is.
Not particularly, no. It's awfully drab, and it's damp, too. I'm freezing.
You poor thing, you. Come here. Finally, they cuddle. And he shifted closer to Micah, then drew her arm about her. Holding her close, she then glanced about. Both maid and mistress squinted into the shadows, as though they might unearth some secret way of escaping, a trapdoor, perhaps, or a hidden passageway. But, to Micah's disappointment, she found the cell quite unchanged. It was... Sorry.
You're good, you're good. Oh, Jeebus Creepus, there's the fucking fly.
Oh my god. It was every bit of sparse as she recalled. The shadows did little to mask this fact, and it still stank. Goodness me, it's not too much to look at, is it? We might as well be in a prison cell. You are!
Girl. Sorry. I think that might be what this is.
Henny drew back from Micah, her legs crossed beneath her upon the stone floor, and frowned. I reckon you're right.
I wonder who brought us back here.
You and me both. It was nice of our mysterious benefactor, or benefactress, wink wink, to rescue us, though they can't be all that kind if they're going to let us suffer in here. You'd think they could at least have put us up in a nicer room. Hello, welcome in.
Hi, Sonny.
Oh my god. Good to see you here. Have fun and watching us play a lesbian game. I'm not expecting first-class accommodations, but you deserve better than this, Micah. This place isn't fit for rats, let alone people.
Plus, there's someone's booty shit in the toilet.
Yeah.
It's alright.
You make do with the situation very fast, I'm not gonna lie.
I think she's just traumatized.
True. Are you being serious? And he raised an eyebrow while Micah smiled.
It's better than being dead, at least. Even if these lodgings are a mite uncomfortable.
Only a mite.
Oh, what do you mean to say, that it fucking stanks here or what? Well, quite a bit, if I'm being honest.
Micah drew her arms around her legs, her knees beneath her chin, and said,
When I woke up, I was lying on the floor.
On the floor? Penny's eyebrows shot up her forehead until they met her hairline. The gesture was... That was very high. The gesture was so exaggerated it managed to bring another smile to Micah's lips, despite how very dire their situation was. I suppose it makes sense, there being only one bed, but oh, that is too much. I can't believe they'd fling you about like a sack of spuds. Also, there's a fucking fanfiction prode. Jesus, trope. Just put us in the same bed. It's okay.
Yeah, there was only one bed.
Yeah, it's okay. We can make out. I ship them. As my first shipping of this game, which is gonna change later.
I actually think they're quite cute, but I don't know the ages, so I'm still gonna wait.
There, but I'm just gonna assume everyone is above 18, honestly, for my own sanity.
Okay.
I don't want to have a romance with like a character who's 16. That's a bit weird.
18-year-old orphan.
Jesus.
Many unbelievable things have happened tonight. Our benefactor must have been bucking the trend. Or fucking it, apparently.
Whoa. Micah, that is very strong language. Anyways, some benefactor. When I get my hands upon them, I'll give them what for.
Don't, Henny. It wouldn't do to pick a fight with whomever brought us here. I wouldn't want to anger them, not when we are at their mercy.
Why, but that makes us sound like captives.
We in a cell.
Yes. Oh my god.
Is that not what we are? This is a cell, after all, and we have no means of escaping.
We're being treated Oh, that's you.
How fucking dare you? We're being treated like prisoners. Oh.
I know, but it still stings.
I got an ad and almost cried.
No! I don't care about me, but I don't want to see you being treated like a convict, not when you've been through so much.
And you haven't? You've been through worse. At least I don't remember what happened, unlike you.
And you're the one who'll be saddled with the consequences, poor Micah. It was your parents, not mine, who were... Well... I don't suspect. Suspect.
Yeah.
I don't expect. Okay. I don't expect
Me
there's
neither.
much point in trying to suss out who's suffering more than who. As it stands, we're both in this together. I won't abandon you, Micah, so try not to worry. Keep your chin up. We'll get through this.
Aw. Thank you, honey. I almost believe it coming from you.
You should. I don't say things I don't mean, you know? Now, let's see. Maybe things aren't as dire as they look. There could be a way to escape yet. Have you tried opening the door? Like, just like,
Actually?
pushing, you know?
Maybe there just weren't any guest rooms available, bro.
Yeah. Oh, tits again.
I
Penny rose to her
appreciate that.
feet, though unsteadily, and did a circuit of a cell. The shadows made it seem... Am I speaking in her voice? Wait, give me a second. I need to change my seating. I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay, kudos. I thought you were really comfortable with me in your lap. Hmm.
Well, yeah, you
Takes
being
a
in
cute
my...
sip of my drink.
Oh, damn. You being in my lap is quite comfortable, but also my knees kind of hurt, so I gotta change my position so I don't get knee problems.
I'll give them a massage.
Mm-hmm.
In like
Good shit.
5 minutes, Autumn Brewery's gonna be in the chat like, "Kid, take your medication."
Oh my god, I already missed my timer for my meds, so we might as well just take it together at that point. Okay. Henny rose to her feet, though unsteadily, and did a circuit of the cell. The shadows made it seem larger than it was, for they obscured the walls, but it did not take Henny many steps to canvass the full length of the dingy room. She pressed her fingertips to the wall, then her ears, as though the stonework might whisper their weaknesses to her. But the walls, of course, remained mute. Henny then took the bars between her fingers and squeezed experimentally, but they refused to yield. Oh, come on! Frustrated, Henny gave the bars a kick. The tip of her shoes collided with them, loosening clots of dirt from her soles, but... Damn it all! The bars refused to budge. They were quite impenetrable. Sighing, Henny changed tack. She moved from the door to glance up at the window, but this was similarly barred. Too high up to reach and much too small to squeeze through.
You calling me not my skinny waist, bro?
Yeah. No, actually, I'm calling your ass fat.
Oh my god, no,
Mainly.
that's fine then.
It almost seemed like a miracle that such a small window allowed for any moonlight at all to spill into the cell when the clouds and the fog shifted.
And you just watched the whole thing.
Right?
What do you mean?
Micah asked, then a disenchanted Henny flopped back down beside her with a rustle of her skirts.
Did you uncover anything?
Yeah, that we're stuck. Nafal... The fuck? Nafal sept...
Naf just means nothing.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure she's supposed to have like a kind of a British accent, but one of those like really like, yeah.
I think I
But it's
know
okay,
what
just go
you
for it.
mean, but I can't replicate that, sadly.
You're good, you're good.
Nothing at all, except that we're more trapped than I thought.
I thought you might have come to that conclusion, yes.
God. Henny kicked off her right shoe and then began to massage her feet, which had begun to throb.
Funny that we don't get a close-up of that.
Wow. This is a rum situation. I wonder what we're to do.
Start screaming. I don't think there is much we can do other than wait.
I suppose you're right. I can't say I like the thought of that, though. We're sitting ducks here. I feel we ought to be taking some kind of action. Henny looked around the cell once more, then sighed. But I'm drawing a blank here. I can't think of anything we could do. I'm so sorry for being so hopeless, Micah. I meant to look after you, but I'm at a total loss.
Don't apologize, dear Henny. I feel better simply being with you.
That's something at least. I could be of some real use, though. Oh, I wish I could be of some real use, though.
You are of real use. Without you, I'd be an unconscionable mess weeping on the floor.
Well, we can't be having that. It breaks my heart to see you cry.
All I ever do.
Right?
Much as it breaks mine to see you self-flagellate so, even though I don't know what that means. Over something that is not your fault.
Touche. Now that we're all well and truly stuck here, I suppose we ought to make the best of it. Although...
Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?
Oh my god. Stuck together in a cell, our last moments alive
Everything
together.
smells like shit.
Oh. Maybe I'm not in the mood, actually. I've had a bad feeling about this place. It gives me the creeps. Really?
I wonder why.
I don't know who imprisoned us here, or what cause, but they've no manner to speak of. Why, it's almost as if... Henny began, but she found herself unable to finish this sentence. A sound issued forth from the darkness. Please, let us finally meet her. Emitting from beyond their tightly sealed cell. It was a faint sound, but Henny still heard it, hovering in the sour and musty air. It sounded like a scream. Oh shit. Good God. Oh wait, that was you.
Oh, oopsies.
It's fine. What in the world was that?
I suppose that was just the wind. Bitch, you know damn well.
Oh my god. Do you really think so?
No. Yes, I imagine.
I don't. I do not imagine. Micah answered in the affirmative, though deep down, both she and Henny knew the truth. That had not been
Medication!
the wind. Oh my god. It had been too
Where
raw,
is it?
too pained, and, though faint, unmistakably human. Okay, we take a meds break. Wait, you can't take a meds break while I'm taking a meds break. Now everyone's taking a meds break and no one is staying here. That's not how this is supposed to work. Oh my god! Standing up is hard, guys. I'm old. I need to get to my backpack. I also have drinks here. That is very convenient. Also took your pill. That's so good.
I'm medicated so hard and so quick just now.
Wait, I'm not yet. You gotta wait.
It's okay, I'm just gonna eat one of these things while you're...
Damn. Crazy.
Also took my pill. So good. Everyone medicating. Acorn.
Indeed, acorn, whatever that's supposed to mean. But yes. I agree.
I think that's code for homosexuality.
Unless it's something homophobic, then I do not agree.
I do a little bit.
What? Against whom?
Now and then. You know.
Probably
Some of them.
me.
Sometimes.
Bitch. Alright, let's continue this thingy.
Sure.
I would like to get until we meet the other lady today. That would be like my goal.
No, give us her immediately.
Right? It's like, oh my god, come on, it's been an hour.
They're edging us. It's been an hour because we're so slow.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Fair. With no obvious way of escape and very little to do, Micah and Henny had no choice but to idle their time away. They sat upon the floor together with their legs folded primly, like two little girls conducting a make-believe tea party. Henny had, at first, balked at the thought of her mistress sitting on the stone like a plebeian. But Micah's dress was already so dirty it didn't matter. The two women did not, however, abandon themselves to inertia. Henny knew... Inertia?
What is inertia? Let me look this
I
up
know the word, but I don't know what it means.
I've heard it before, yeah.
Henny knew they had to do something to take their minds off of their ghastly predicament. Fortunately, Henny was not empty-handed.
Oh.
Ooh. She had a dildo in her pocket.
No, she a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged.
Oh, okay. There. What night or I did follow? Oh, someone followed? No.
Oh no, Sonny followed, so it was like, oh, I
Yeah,
did follow already.
yeah. Sonny already did
Yeah,
that
got you.
some time ago. The Nightbot, I don't know if it's working well. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. She had in her pocket, alongside the kerchief she had used to wipe Micah's cheek, a pack of cards. These cards were worn and bent at the corners, but they remained perfectly functional.
Fuck yeah, let's play some poker.
Yeah. For a want of a better way to use their time, Henny proposed to Micah a game of Joker, a game which Micah agreed to. Can we just meet the lesbian already? Why do we have to play games now?
Right.
The two women played several rounds of Joker,
Genshin
examining
Impact.
their decks and dispensing of
There.
cards. The game did not require a great degree of tactical thinking, but it helped alleviate some of Micah's worries. It could not, alas, alleviate the cold, but Micah had been shivering for so long she had almost grown accustomed to it. She had been in the dank, miserable cell for so long she could scarcely remember how it even felt to be warm. Had her journey to Augsburg continued unimpeded, she would now be sitting by the fire in Walter Gerhard's living room. Who the fuck is called Walter
Adam.
Gerhard? Heilige Scheiße. Or else tucked up in one of his many guest bedrooms with a warming pan at her feet. Hey Autumn, welcome back. Wait, didn't she say she was visiting her fiance?
Yeah, so I guess that must be either the fiance or the fiance's like father or whatever.
Yeah. But I also remember her saying that she didn't like Walter. I think at the
maybe
beginning...
it is Walter, the fiance.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, might be it. Both Augsburg and Walter Gerhard seemed very far away to Micah now, though being confined thus in a prison cell. How long had she been sitting with Henny on the floor, shivering? Micah did not know. She could not tell. All Micah really knew, in her infinite ignorance, was that the night seemed hopelessly long, she hopelessly small and insignificant. There was no clock. I read cock, that was wild. There was no clock in Micah's cell, and neither she nor Henny carried timepieces upon them. The only means Micah had of tracking the advancements of the hours was the sliver of sky she could see beyond the narrow window situated high above her head. She could recall that the sky had been dark upon her waking, and it remained so now, 3 games of Joker later. 3 games is very little.
Probably has been sitting there for like, what, 20 minutes and she's crying about it.
I was about to say 3 games of poker is not a lot. Oh my god, Jesus. The moon, which emerged from the fog at irregular intervals, shone its pallid light upon Micah's head and upon her hand of cards, lighting her Joker in his wide, rictus grin.
I like a rictus, it's a nice word.
Micah had never much cared for the Joker in Henny's trusty pack of cards. His expression unnerved her. Every once in a while, as she played, Micah spared a few glances at the barred window above her head. Though she could not guess the hour, she knew it was late. It could have been an advanced hour of the night, or it could have been, by the same token, the very, very early hours of the following morning. Yeah, okay, I get it. You don't understand what time you're in, right?
It goes on for a long time, man.
Yeah.
About the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, Sonny!
Oh my god! Whatever you're doing, good job.
Yeah.
The calendar might have shifted already, from one day to the next, but Micah was none the wiser. You played cards for 20 minutes!
And the moon's still in the same place it was before.
Yeah, she's like, oh, midnight passed! Another day has
been here for years.
Dawned! Oh my god. The sky was so dark, Micah found it hard to believe the sun would ever rise again. Wait, bitch, just wait!
Literally go to sleep.
Right? The darkness which abounded within her cell was so complete, it seemed to have blotted out the very concept of the morning altogether. She feared she would never again see the sun's golden rays, never again hear the twittering of the starlings in the trees which announced a brand new day. She is very dramatic.
While she's going on, I'm just gonna eat my food.
Yeah, go ahead. When did the birds begin to chirp beyond her bedroom window anyway?
Does it matter?
Yeah. Micah could not recall, but she thought it must have been around 6 in the morning. Micah had gone to bed at 10 every night. Do I care? Like a dutiful daughter. Odd, but she had often found it hard to sleep for a full, unbroken 8 hours. She would arise at odd hours, at 1 or 2 or 3, her head full of thoughts, and often she found it hard to sleep again.
You're gonna
Same.
tell us all of her medical history in a minute.
When this occurred, Micah would rise from the bed to sit by her windowsill, her forehead in the summer pressed to the glass. Her forehead in the summer pressed to the glass. That always
Yeah, they're
helped
still in
cool
jail,
her,
Sonny.
and her errant thoughts alongside it. Yeah. Oh, how her mind raced. I can see that.
Clearly.
This is ridiculous. Thank you, Henny.
They say after 25 minutes.
Henny groused, all while examining her cards. We ought to be at... The German and the English mix is fucking me over so hard. Also, I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm hoping we get to see this woman soon.
Everything, man.
Yeah, I hope we get to see this woman soon.
Do you want me to take over as narrator for a little while?
Oh, that would be sweet, actually. I would like that.
Mm-hmm. I can do that.
Okay. I'm still gonna do Henny, though.
Yeah.
We ought to be at Herr Gerhardt's right now. Safe-ass houses. We weren't so far from Augsburg. At least I don't think we were. When were we attacked? Why did those bandits have to go after us?
We were just unfortunate, I suppose. I can't imagine the bandits meant specifically to target us. We just happened to be there.
You're probably right, but... Goodness. Of all the awful luck. At least you've had... Oh, that's you.
At least you've had a fair run during our game. You've beaten me out soundly during every single hand.
Ha! Well, true. I suppose I should thank heavens for a small mercy, eh?
Henny smiled at Micah's attempt to cheer her, but it didn't last. Both Henny's smile and Micah's cheer were half-hearted, and they were soon swallowed by the sinister darkness of their cell.
It's a shame I don't feel more thankful. I wonder what Herr Gerhard would make of this. He'd be off his head, I'm sure, if he knew the state of your being kept in, Micah. I'm enraged, too, for you and him. You deserve far better than this. You're a von Essen, for crying out loud. This is funny. Essen means food.
Oh. You're a snack, for crying out loud.
Yeah. The person who's holding us here will feel mighty sorry when they realize who you are. You're a real lady.
Maybe. Micah's reply was vague in both tone and meaning. Not even Micah herself was sure whether she meant to disparage Henny's optimistic assertions that her being a lady would grant her any favor with her captor, or whether she meant to challenge the notion she was a lady at all.
Autumn is so right. She's now called short food.
That's so unfortunate.
She's called short from food.
That's her name.
Oh my god.
Von Shirt Food. Micah had been born to a noble family. It was true, with the lineage which could be traced back centuries, but the Shirt Foods were not what they had been. Half a century of poor financial decisions and a grandfather with a compulsive gambling addiction had led to the squandering of much of the Von Essen's wealth. While still in possession of their family's home and a veritable fleet of veritable fleet of maidservants, the family's finances had been in a dire state ever since Micah could remember. Though not openly wanting for cash, Micah's parents had made a good many purchases based on their family's prestige rather than the figures in their bank account. Micah's wedding to... Can you say his name?
I'm eating, but yeah. Ja, Gerhard.
Had been an attempt to shore up the family's wealth before they could fall from grace altogether. But that now seemed an impossibility because the family is dead, of course, but... How could Micah wed Walter when she was in... Girl, your parents are dead! When she was incarcerated. If Micah had loved Walter, she surely would have shed tears over so cruel a fate, but she was actually a lesbian.
But she was actually homosexual.
Yeah. As it was, however, she was curiously calm. What did she care how Walter Gerhardt felt? She barely knew him.
Sorry. I'm good. I'm here. Well, not to worry. Gerhard must be sitting in his drawing room now, wondering where the blazers are. Where the blazers we are? Oh, that way.
Yeah.
Gerhard is sure to send out a search party before long. He'll be worried sick about you, Micah. Are you sure about that?
Oh, I see how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Do you really think so?
Absolutely. I mean, he is your fiance. He's got to be worried. He was such a sweet thing. I don't see how he couldn't.
Okay, you're a lesbian too.
They're all gay.
Yeah. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it.
Don't thank me, Micah. I'm just stating the facts. If I was a man and I had a fiance like you can bet that I wouldn't let you out of my sight. Please
That's
marry
how they
me.
all start. That's how they all start. If I was a man,
right?
And you were, I would be like,
if I had a chance to romance you, I mean, I would.
not that I, if I was a man, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to be a man for that.
But if you really want to, but
we could like try and like maybe see how if it works, Oh my god.
Perhaps it's a good thing that I'm here with you then. You at least know I'm all right.
Kiss.
Mwah.
Oh. Yes, you are, and I thank heaven on high for it. I'd do anything to keep you safe, Micah.
I know. Micah could well believe that, coming from Henny. When it came to Henny's claims about Walter, however, Micah was less certain. Oh. What did she know about Walter, really, other than his age and his occupation and how fabulously, excessively wealthy he was? He's got a good taste in fashion? Micah had met Walter only on 3 past occasions, and they'd exchanged almost as many words. The man was a stranger to her, and Micah's desire to marry him was inversely proportional with her parents' desire to see her walking down the aisle. Micah had been dreading her visit to Augsburg for well over a month. Now it had been terminated, she felt a perverse sort of relief. Part of Micah had even begun to wonder whether the bandit attack had brought with it some good, alongside all the bad. But that, Micah chastised herself, was hopelessly cruel. Were her parents' lives truly worth that little to her? It was true enough that she may never see Walter Gerhard again, but she would never see her mother nor her father again either. It was not a fair trade, not by any stretch of the imagination. How could she have ever thought of such a thing? She really must have been wicked. Was that why she had found herself in such a dire situation? Perhaps this was God's way of punishing her for being a poor daughter and a sinner who spent too much of her time lost in daydreams, imagining things which could never and would never be.
Like a girlfriend.
Sounds like religious guilt. I love it.
Yeah!
Micah and Henny sat in their cell for what could have been minutes, or hours, or even days, even though the moon didn't move even a little bit,
Right.
whiling away the time. By God, there was so much time, with continued, unending, incessant games of Joker. Micah's heart was not in the game, her head being otherwise occupied, and Henny trounced her soundly, 12-1. It's like a
Jesus.
games too, and geography. Jeez. Henny was better than Micah at card games in general, so this came as a little surprise. Micah was accustomed to losing, and accepted her failures with good grace. There were more important things in life than card games. And in any event, Micah was glad to be rid of the eerily grinning jokers in her deck. Little of note happened during these dead empty hours or minutes. Micah had begun to wonder in a detached way, as Henny launched into their 14th round of Joker, whether they would ever meet their rescuer. Perhaps whoever had hauled them from the forest had done so, not as an act of kindness, but as a means of prolonging their suffering. Maybe they meant to keep them locked in the cell, alone, until time itself slowed to a trickle, then ceased, the squalid stone walls tumbling down about them to crush their emaciated corpses in the debris. But soon, shockingly soon, or so it seemed, despite all of the interminable waiting, Micah found her hypotheses proved wrong. Ooh! Oh!
Finally? Oh my god.
She could hear above the sound of Henny shuffling the deck. A sound. Footsteps. The footsteps were quiet enough at first that Micah wondered whether she had imagined them, but as the seconds elapsed they became louder still until even Henny heard them.
I'm sorry, I'm still swallowing my last bite. Give me a second.
I'm so excited! Please let it be the vampire.
I'm itching you. Okay.
Stop!
Goodness me.
Henny fumbled with the cards, then threw them down. Red hearts and black spades split across the stone.
Can you hear that, Micah?
T-shirt. Yes, I can. Somebody must be coming.
Huh? Our rescuer from the woods, do you think?
It could be our rescuer, yes, but maybe. Micah chose not to finish this thought. Her saliva felt too thick in her throat like tar, and she shivered. She didn't want to extinguish the hope which she could see, flickering now in Henny's eyes. That would have been cruel. Henny's head swiveled to the grated iron door. Excitable as a puppy and wide-eyed, she peered through the shadows.
This is a turn for the better. I was beginning to worry they'd forgotten all about us.
I think we might be blood bags.
Maybe. I can't wait to come face to face with them. I'll be sure to tell them exactly what I think about their so-called hospitality. Girl, we're still prisoners.
Damn. You've said that once before, Henny, and I wish you wouldn't. I don't want to anger them.
Oh, stuff of nonsense. I'm sure it'll be fine. If they wanted to harm us, they had plenty of chances to do it already. Surely.
That is true, but
Ever heard of being kidnapped? Ever heard of being held ransom?
ever heard of someone who's sadistic and wants to draw out your pain?
Yeah.
The thrill of the kill. The footsteps drew closer still, echoing about the stone walls, echoing inside Micah's skull. The footsteps could represent only two things. They would mean salvation if they were lucky, but Micah found it difficult to believe this. Neither she nor Henny had been very lucky that night, despite Henny's continued winning hands in Joker. It seemed far more likely that these footsteps would bring about yet more suffering, and sure enough...
Oh. Oh.
No!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Wait, because it's still question mark. Should I give a wonky noise and see who it actually is? Or...
Okay.
Okay. Well. Would you look what the cat dragged in?
Meow! The voice that cut through Micah's musings was a proud, haughty one. Haughty.
Oh my god.
The syllables polished to perfection like cut glass.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
Yes, it's a woman! Oh my god. The voice belonged, quite obviously, to a woman, and given her pronunciation, she must have been well bred.
Whoa.
Like me.
Oh my god.
Perhaps the rescuer was a lady then, a Vaughn such and such like Micah, from a family
Oops,
who's
sorry.
gone. Ancestral
Nervous
was
button
vast
pressing.
It's because of the lesbianism. Was vast and grand enough to have its very own dungeon to play in.
Yeah.
Whereas most nobility used their subterranean storage spaces for wine cellars, this family seemed to prefer taking prisoners. The thought did not fill Micah with much confidence about her mysterious rescuer. Anxiously, she glanced up to meet the source of said voice, and when she did... Oh! Micah could not help but gasp in surprise.
Oh, holy shit! She's just standing there. Oh my god. Oh.
The owner of the voice, who now stood upon the opposite side of the cell's door, was not at all what Micah had imagined. She was shorter than Micah had expected, shorter than Micah herself, who was dwarfed by her wealthier, significantly older fiancé, and slender with it, her cheekbones high, her neck not dissimilar to the stem of a flower.
Oh.
Oh. Her skin was frighteningly pale, like that of a corpse, and beneath her eyes Micah could see dark rings similar to those she often sported during the long nights at her bedroom window, unable to sleep.
Oh my god, she got eye bags. I love her.
The woman, or was she a girl, had hair so fair it was almost white, which almost seemed to glow in the moon's light. Her hair was not worn in a chignon, but instead was loose. It tumbled about her shoulders in waves all disarrayed, in a manner which would have made Micah's mother swoon from the sheer impropriety of it all.
Oh my god.
The girl's appearance, but was she a girl, was striking, not only because of her indeterminable age, but because of her eyes, which were widely spaced and fringed with the most luxurious of lashes. Her irises were not brown like Henry's, nor blue like Micah's. They were not green, nor hazel, nor gray, or any of the other shades Micah had seen in the faces of her family servants and the attendants at the boutiques to which her mother took her, and the congregation at her local parish. Her irises were, instead, bright red, so much so they bordered on the visceral. Is it visceral?
Oh, it's like bloody and yeah, bloody.
Ah. These lovely irises were even redder than the blood which had seeped from Micah's sliced cheek, and seemed to be full of violence. Oh, perfect!
So she's like, oh, violence. I love this woman.
Damn. The girl was a perfect stranger to Micah for now, but her eyes told more than a pleasant chit-chat ever could. She was not normal.
He was a vampire.
Micah knew instinctively as she gazed upon her that she should keep her distance if she could, but this only made her conversely feel even more enchanted.
Oh my god, she's like, oh, wait, actually, I think I might be gay.
She's so beautiful. She could not look away from her. It was as though her captor had placed her under a spell.
For lesbianism. That woman!
Henny shifted back, her skirts shifting against the ground.
She's the one I told you about, Micah. The one from the woods. She's the one who fought off all those bandits. I thought what I saw was unbelievable, but now I know it wasn't a dream. She really is real.
Smirking without saying anything.
Killed all those men. She's a monster.
She saved us.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta also find her voice.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm ovulating.
I'm scared. Oh, don't! Not on my fucking lap. Jesus. Oh, a monster, am I?
Oh my god, I love that. The woman's unnatural eyes narrowed and with a smile said,
Oh my god. I gotta concentrate. I'm too hype. I'm too hype. This is so bullshit.
I'm sorry.
Why am I so excited?
Me too. It took us 2 hours to get here.
You cut me too quick, you humans do.
Mary.
Nah, I think I want to have it a little bit higher. At least you would. At least you would, were I not so accustomed to it. Perhaps I bring it upon myself, given the unusual manner in which I treat my guests. But you could at least try to be polite. Why, if it were not for me, the both of you would be lying in the woods right now, mangled beyond all recognition. Is she pouting? So you really were the one who saved us. I thought as much. Yours isn't a face anybody could forget in a hurry. Why, thank you. I will be taking that as a compliment. I'm very striking, I know.
Oh my god, it's Kaide.
Why did you save us, though? And how? I can't believe you brought us back here. Wherever here is, on your own. You must have had help. Oh, if only, but alas, I've not had any help for, well, let's see, I must have been a century at least. A century?
Then he gawked at the woman, her eyes agog.
Agog.
Agog. Sounds like a fake word.
But that would make you older than my grandmother. That can't be right. You don't look a day over 18. Oh, wait, how do I... No, she does chuckle, doesn't she? Oh, do you really think so? You're too kind. Oh, that's you.
Laughing softly, the woman extricated a key from her pocket, then inserted it into the awaiting keyhole. Don't.
They said inserted it into the awaiting keyhole.
I know. Don't. Move forward from it, don't worry.
Oh my god, she's inside now, huh?
Deftly she turned it, and deftly she stepped inside the cell, the hem of her dark cape dragging against the uneven stone floor.
Woo! Okay, sorry. Just figured out a new button, I guess.
She went out, she came back in because she was nervous. Once inside the cell, okay. She turned to close the door, then locked it anew.
Damn!
You're stuck in here with me now.
There, that ought to do it. Would be a horrible tedious if you tried to run from me. I would be able to catch you, of course, but I'd rather not bother with all of the fuss.
With the door secured, the woman placed the key inside her pocket and turned to look at her prisoners. Her red eyes met Micah's, which were narrowed with mistrust, and pouting, she said,
Now, why are you looking at me like that? You're making me feel quite unwelcome.
Girl,
I thought you would be relieved to see my face after being left so languished in the catacombs of my castle for hours on end. But maybe I was hoping for too much. In any case, you shouldn't frown like that, dear. It's an awful waste. You'll wrinkle your pretty face.
you really think I'm pretty? This
Chastisement. Chastisement? I don't fucking know.
I'm foreign, guys, by the way. This chastisement was familiar to Micah. She had heard it many times from her mother. Mommy issues. While Micah had been trained to obey her mother without question, however, it was not so with this strange woman.
What?
Some of her reticence fell away, and, needled, Micah said, What I do with my face is my own concern. I'm sure it's none of your business.
My goodness. You're feistier than you look. I took you for a shrinking violet, but maybe I was mistaken. You might make for quite the amusing plaything, though you'd be a good sight prettier if you smiled.
No, because I'm blushing.
I can't say I blame you for being so surly, though. I never liked smiling on command either, though it's been many, many years since anybody has last tried to give me orders. It's fortunate nobody can tell me what to do now, at least. It came at quite the price, but... Oh well, never mind. Where are my manners? My name is Magdalena, but you can call me Lena.
Oh my...
My family's name, meanwhile, is of no particular importance. They might have commanded some respect back in the day, but it is not so now. They have long since been obliterated. Jesus. I doubt history will remember them. I would not wish to. I am all that is left of their legacy. A fact I would very much love to rub in their face, but alas, I never got the chance. It is very nice to meet you, for the second time this night.
Saying, Magdalena dropped a neat curtsy, taking hold of her cape in lieu of her skirt. Ugh.
But I am afraid I will not afford much of a chance to properly know you. While I would relish the chance to speak to a couple of young maidens such as yourself, I have designs for you beyond idle chatter.
And what do you mean by that exactly?
Only that, now I have brought you here, I cannot continue to let you live. You have already seen too much. What?
Henny stared at Magdalena with wide eyes, so full of fear the air swelled with it.
What do you mean? What do you think she means?
You're gonna die.
What I said. Do try to keep up. It's awfully tedious having to explain myself down the finer details. But I suppose you have
These
the
girls
right...
don't have education for geography. What do you want?
They don't know their ups and downs, man. But I suppose you have the right to know the bare minimum, prisoners though you may be. I would hate to keep you in suspense. At this point, it doesn't matter how much you know. You won't be able to tell anybody else what you might learn here. Oh my god, that smile, Jesus. You'll not be venturing forth beyond the walls of my castle ever again.
I'm battling a bug, so sorry. Magdalena smiled, her lips lifting in a wicked grin not so very unlike that of the Joker in Henny's pack of cards. Though Magdalena's face was white, her lips were red much like her eyes. They stood out in her milky face like a rose blooming despite the winter's chill.
I feel like Micah wants to kiss those lips.
You're like, I'm looking at those. Oof. Or else, Micah thought with a shudder, freshly spilt blood.
Gasp. You must understand that I am not a normal woman. No human can hope to best me when it comes to a competition of sheer strength, as the bandits who were pursuing you soon discovered. It didn't take me more than a few seconds to dispatch them. The fight they put up was so pathetic. makes me wonder why they even bothered. If they'd any respect for my time, they would have slit their own throats with their daggers and saved me the trouble. You humans can be awfully thoughtless. But if they had done that, I wouldn't have been able to bring the leader of their little group back to my castle. He was in a bad way, and I was obliged to introduce myself to him before bestowing upon you similar honors. I really must apologize for making you wait.
Magdalena dropped another curtsy, as an elegant lady might, but it smacked of insincerity.
Damn.
How many men and women had Magdalena brought to her castle, and how many had she summarily tortured?
Summarily, I think?
I can't fucking speak, man.
It's okay.
Micah knew of at least one, besides herself and Henny. The bandit's leader. Did you kill him?
No, I made him a cup of tea and put him to bed.
We became besties.
Yeah. Eventually, yes. It was quite the sight. You ought to have seen the way he begged and pleaded and grovelled at my feet. A grown man like that, who was practically made of muscle. Oh, how fickle fortune is. Just 1 hour hence, he was the predator, stalking his prey through the woods, and the next.
I love your voices so much.
Thank you!
Magdalena drew a hand across her neck in the unequivocal, universal gesture of a slit throat.
Well, what goes around comes around. He got what he deserved, and his screams really were quite exquisite. Did you perchance happen to hear them? He was being rather loud.
Oh, that was the
What? You?
the wind.
Oh, goodness! Surprised, are you? You shouldn't be. That man was a bandit, a vulture in man's flesh who profited on misery. If it weren't for me, he would have gone do the same as the poor unfortunates in that stalled carriage, the driver and the horses too. Nobody was spared their ravages, man nor beast.
They killed the horses?
That's so stupid. Why would you kill the horses?
They're just evil like
Yeah.
that.
They made quite the grisly mess. Were I a century younger, I would have been enough to turn even my stomach. Maybe that is so, but the gloat over another death like that, it doesn't seem right. Neither of them really have a sense of danger, do they? I'd be
My
screaming
God.
and crying and begging at this point. Twisted. If I am twisted, that is only because this world. Oh my god, she's edgy.
Magdalena began, but then paused. A momentary furrow captured her brow, but soon it straightened out, as though nothing of a note had occurred.
Well, never mind that. I do not wish to spout cliches about good and evil. I would begin to bore myself. The fact of the matter is that man got what he deserved, as did his companions.
Compatriots.
Compatriots, funky word.
Hmm.
I took great pains to ensure that. I paid the brigade back twofold for what he did to you. Did you know that he tried to be stoic in the beginning? Humans often are. Human males in particular. They've so much pride. It's funny, really, that a cur like that would care so much about appearance. He was less a man than he was a dog, but he still had pretensions and greatness. Or of grandeur. I soon stripped him of these lofty delusions, however.
What else did you
Humans-
strip him of?
Oh, damn, that's his father. Her father. Oh my god. Humans are very alike in one regard, at least. You all scream the same after your bones have been broken, and you all bleed red.
Well, yeah.
What do you bleed? Pink?
Oh my god!
Because you're gay?
Stop it! No!
That man was a brigand. I'll grant you that, who deserved the hangman's noose, but that's a count of a law to decide, not you. Wait, okay, so she wasn't talking about the father.
Yeah, I was like, father, what?
Sorry, I thought she was talking about the father. What you did isn't justice, it's barbaric. You shouldn't be taking pleasure in anyone's other people's death.
I actually
Speaking?
agree with the vampire lady on this, because if someone killed both my parents, I think I'd be really upset, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think the court of justice would do enough for the pain that I feel.
What gave you the right to kill him anyways? I had every right to kill him. He was trespassing upon my land, as were you and the young lady here. His life was forfeit the moment he encroached upon my territory. I'm an alpha. Rawr.
Oh my god, I knew it.
The Lord's prayers may say that we ought to forgive those who wrong us, but I've no patience with such teachings. They do not apply to me. The Lord has forsaken me. I am no longer a member of his congregation. He would have no love for me as I am now, and I have little love for him. I cannot conceive how he could have let me suffer so, if he truly existed. Sometimes I do wonder. So, you mean to add blasphemy to your list of crimes? Man, does it matter?
I just escaped and now is already having to speak against so much.
It's okay. I like doing Magdalena. It's not like she's not straining me. She's actually a very comfortable range for me.
Alright, while you're doing that, I gotta let my cat out.
Yeah, do that. Oh, I've done far, far worse than that in my time. The morals of you good, sensuous churchgoers do not apply to me. I am not of your kind. I am a drinker of blood who walks the night. I have been alive for over a century, though my life is very different to yours and your mistress's. I doubt that you could understand me, and neither do I want you to. I have no desire to understand you, either. There would be no point. We are much too different.
I bet.
A drinker of blood? But that would make you...
A vampire.
Mike is into it, oh my god.
She finally woke up from whatever nap she was taking.
Right, she's like, a vampire?
It was Micah who offered forth this label after Henny's voice faltered. Micah was an ardent devourer of books.
She's a monster
And
fucker.
she had read...
No.
She is.
Oh god.
She likes dark romance.
Oh my god, she does.
And she had read before of such shadowy denizens of the night, much to her mother's chagrin. Lady Von Food had thought that Micah, as a well-bred young woman, ought not to read at all. It will only excite your mind, dear, but should instead busy herself with embroidery. How Mickle used to.
Right, oh my god.
Micah, however, had always preferred books to busy work, particularly work which involved needles, and she found herself returning to stories time and time again, whenever she needed a break from her own dreary life. Micah had read all manner of books over the years, but she preferred adventure stories full of mystery, intrigue, and, yes, even murder. Micah knew from her reading that vampires were nocturnal creatures, often aristocratic, but shunned the sunlight, dwelt in ruinous castles, and supped upon the lifeblood of fair maidens. Yes, Micah thought, in an oddly detached manner, that did make sense. She had sensed there was something strange about Magdalena when their eyes had first met. Magdalena really must have been a vampire.
Right, like, oh my god, there was something strange happening inside of me when our eyes met.
She looked at me and I could see the gay flag just in her eyes.
It was right there.
It all made sense, at least it would have, had Micah been a heroine in one of her novels. But life, Micah reminded herself, was not akin to a story. Micah might have consumed books like a starving man, but she had sense enough to know that the words written within the pages of adventure stories were all skeins of fiction. Vampires ought to have remained within the realms of make-believe, They had no business walking about as humans did, made of cold, unfeeling flesh with hearts which no longer beat. They were supposed to be constructs, mere figments of fancy. But Magdalena was undoubtedly real, and settling though she was, Micah did not take her for a liar.
Yes, that is correct. I am a vampire, and this castle is my territory. It and the woods that surround you.
Could have started with that.
Right? You wandered into my domain, you hopeless little lamb, while on the run from those awful bandits. I know none of this is your fault, and I have no quibbles with you. I'm not blaming you for what occurred tonight. There. See how fair I am? I am too nice by half. Too nice for my own good cause. You have been awfully surly with me, the both of you, and I've only ever been polite. I would even let you go if I could. I would even let you go if I could. Dispatching of brigands is one thing, but I take no pleasure in harming young ladies. Damn. But I fear that would be foolhardy. Wait, so she's not gonna have sexy, sadistic lesbian sex?
She probably will, just not quite yet.
Oh, fair. I cannot allow anybody who has wandered into my realm to leave alive. I do not want you telling tall tales.
Oh my god, it's giving Mr. Kidnapper. Please don't hurt me.
Yes.
And you're like, don't worry, I'm not gonna touch you. Why not?
I should snap both of your necks and be done with it, but...
Magdalena's red eyes found Micah's, then held them. Her smile, which hitherto had seemed so easy, faded as she frowned.
You don't seem to be a
As
mere
hitherto.
peasant. I can tell from your clothes, Georgied though they are, that you are from a wealthy background. Your voice and your bearing, your boobs, yes, even the way you look at me. It all suggests that you are, in fact, a lady.
And I can smell that you're on your period.
Oh my gosh, she probably can't stop! Would I be correct in that assessment?
I'm sorry, Make is sleeping again.
Right.
Why do you ask?
It would be problematic for me if I were to dispatch a woman of renown. I would not want your disappearance to catch the attention of men in high places. If they were to send out a search party into these woods, it's not wholly impossible that they would stumble upon my home. I have lived out of sight from the public eye for nigh on a century, and have no desire to invite half of Augsburg constabulary into my home.
Apparently me neither.
The idea is incredibly unpleasant. Really?
Magdalena pulled a face, as a small child might when confronted with a plate of food they did not much care for.
If you really are a lady, I might as well... I might do well to exercise some caution. I suppose I can always spare your life and kill only this dowdy common girl. Your maid, I take it.
Magdalena looked to Henny now, her lips curled into a mean smile.
But, okay, we should probably stop soon, actually.
Yeah, soon.
What do you say to that? Is it not a bad trait, is it? Her life or yours? Precious few people who find themselves in my abode are ever able to live to tell the tale. You would be one in... Goodness, how many guests have I had over these years? There must be a good 200 or 300.
Okay, so you sleep around.
Aren't you touched by my thoughtfulness?
I will be touched.
Oh, damn.
Silence descended into the decrepit cell following Magdalena's announcement. Stuck for words, Micah could only stare at her, her lips parted. What was she to say to Magdalena's proposal? How was she to feel?
She should offer her body as compensation and then let Penny also live.
There was relief, certainly, at the prospect of escaping the cell, but Micah could take no real pleasure in it. Not when it came to the cost not when it would come to the cost of Henny's life. How could she abandon her friend, who had been by her side since her early childhood? Were it not for Henny, Micah knew she would be dead already, butchered like a farmyard animal in her parents' carriage. Henny had rescued. Oh my god, give me a second. I'm so sorry. My door is open again.
It's okay.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh my god. I did not want to talk about death and all that while my little brother is outside
Oh
there,
yeah,
so.
absolutely fair.
Henny had rescued her once already. It seemed unconscionable that she would leave her now. Micah turned this over in her mind, worrying her teeth with her lower lip when...
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait, is there a way to see... Wait, let me save, actually.
Oh yeah.
Bound in blood. Return. Is there a way to see the full CG? Because usually there
We could leave it right here because of the scene.
True, we can, yeah. I think
Because
actually...
it looks so pretty.
Go to the title? Oh my god! Oh! Oh! There's so much more context
It's gonna
now.
be them soon.
Should be under extras. Gallery. Oh yeah, we have the full CG of this. Wait, no, just can you like... Okay, wait. It's doing a zoom out.
Wow. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, the work they put into this.
Hmm.
It's
Oh my god, the way they made all of that background as well. It's the one we got right now.
Damn. Oh my
And
gosh,
it's
she
so...
got her knees out.
Yeah, right? And that almost looks like a nip slip, not gonna lie.
She's gonna slip it up any minute now to
Jesus.
seduce the vampire.
She is.
Isn't Magdalena supposed to be shorter than...
Yeah, she actually is. We saw that. Wait. I think here she's just standing tall, or like, Micah is, sitting, yeah. Or kneeling.
Oh, look at them. Oh, they're so beautiful.
But if we... Oh, shit, we can't see it here. We can, oops. We can pay attention to it next time.
It's okay. Yeah, next time.
But she was actually a little bit shorter than Micah.
Oh, that was so cool.
That is such a cool game. Oh my god, I love it. I'm actually really excited.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to keep on playing it, even though it can be a little bit slow sometimes. We'll see if that gets better with
they definitely go on a lot.
Yeah, I just hope that with more interesting plot, other than sitting in a cell, it's gonna be a little bit less of a drag to get through. Because
For sure.
like,
oh man,
we just had like 45 minutes of just sitting in a cell. Which is
I was
crazy.
a little bit annoying, and just you're droning on and on about how long it takes, bro. Like, my god, man.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes. I do love Magdalena, though. Oh my god, she fits me so well. It's so much fun to voice. It's like, I'm almost not voice acting. I'm almost just speaking in my own voice.
I like yeah, I just love them. Yeah, they're so cool.
They're so cool.
Alright, we're done now, though. We're gonna head the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking
leave. Hope y'all enjoyed Kaida's stream. That's probably gonna happen again next week.
Yeah, probably gonna happen again on Wednesday next week.
But apart from that, probably not.
Yeah, no. I did not have the time for that, I'm sorry. Not at all in the slightest. Alright.
Okay, but now you're a Twitch streamer again.
Yay!
For sure time.
Alright.
Thank you so much, guys, for popping in.
Yeah, thank you so much. I will see you next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye-bye!
Bye!